Today I am reuniting or meeting my, today I am meeting my brother. Okay, re-meeting, reuniting, I'm not sure how to put it because I met him when I turned 18 and I wanted to know more about my father's side of the family that I didn't know. And when I turned 18, I thought, well, I'm an adult, I could do that. And we had a relationship for a very short period of time, and it was a great one. I mean, he's my little brother, so he was just a kid, I took him to the movies and did some fun stuff, and then we were out of each other's lives. I don't know if this is something I'm ever going to share, but I thought, I would film it anyways, because I always regret not filming with a camcorder at the time, our IVF journey, because I do think it would have helped a lot of people. And so I thought maybe I'll share this, and if only just for myself. Okay, so I'm going to give a little backstory, but I want to start by saying this important thing. And my brother are two innocent children. I know we're adults now, but this has nothing to do with his side of the family, and this has nothing to do with my side of the family. This was a marriage that didn't work out over 50 years ago, and everybody really needs to let it go, okay? So this is about two kids that weren't able to be a part of each other's lives that want to try to do that now. This has nothing to do with my biological father, so let me make that very clear, because if I share this, I don't need anybody upset with me. I don't need any of that. I tried reuniting with him. It didn't work out. My life is better without him. I know that. I have a great family. I have a great stepdad. I have a great mom. I do not need my father in my life, okay? So that's clear. Let's move on. Here's the backstory, and this will be a long format video, so if you're not following me on a long format platform, please do that now. Where to start? My biological mother and my biological father, I'm using those terms just to help along with the story. My mother got pregnant with me. My biological father decided that he didn't want that life. He left and he went with another woman, and soon after got her pregnant, which is my older brother. I'm not meeting him. They had two sons. So I have a brother that's about my same age and then a younger brother. My mom remarried when I was 6. That's who I refer to as my stepdad. He raised me, took care of me. That's, more than obviously my biological father could do. And I have a brother and sister, which you have seen on here, and we are extremely close. We do have a big age gap, but I consider them, I'm very close with them. So the fact that I was never close with my other two brothers always kind of pulled at my heartstrings a little bit, because I was so close with my two other siblings that I don't really consider my half siblings, but I guess technically they are. So when I turned 18, I went to my pap because he told me I can always come to him. This is my stepdad's dad. We're not related by blood, but I consider him fully my grandfather. And he said, since he had the same situation, he had a dad that didn't want him, and he had a stepdad, but he always wondered about his family. He said, if you ever want to meet them, I will help you. Now, he didn't want to do that in some ways because he heard the stories about my biological father, and he pretty much knew I was going to get hurt, but wanted to help as best he could. So he found them. He came to the first meeting with me. I met my biological father. It was fine. I had questions. He didn't really have good answers. Even at 18, I can tell, that's not enough reason to stay away from your kid. And I already had a lot of documentation, actual receipts of my mother trying to get child support, getting him to visit, all of those things. So other than just having my mother's side of it, I actually had proof of what he did. And I was hoping he would give me answers, and unfortunately he could not. I was in his life for a little while. I basically wanted to meet my brothers, and I also in turn met his wife. It was not great. Again, going back to just being innocent children, I have heard on my side a lot how much I look like my dad and how painful that is for a lot of people. And then when I would go to his side, I was told how much I look like my mother and how painful it is for them. So, if you are in a relationship where you are co-parenting and never putting your kid in that situation, good for you. I think that's amazing. Obviously, I'm married to one guy, so I can't relate, but I would hope that we would be able to co-parent without being so freaking weird. I meet my brothers. They never knew about me, so I don't want to tell a lot of their side of the story because it's not my story to tell, so I'm just going to tell the little bit that they told me. They were not aware of me. When I came to their doorstep, that was their first time ever hearing about me. So I can imagine that had to be shocking. I always knew about them, and I always knew the story. So from everybody in my family, because my aunts and uncles, they all wanted to tell me, all about it. So the relationship with my dad, this really isn't about that, but I can just tell you that I caught him in so many lies. He wanted me to right away call him dad. I was not comfortable with that. He did not raise me. He did not care for me. So I just wanted to have the relationship happen organically, and he was not willing to do that. Okay, so how it ends. So again, this is just my side, and there's always two sides of the story, just in case I would post this and anybody would see it. The night before, I was going to take them to a water park, my brothers, because I've never been to one. So the night before, I went to their house to have dinner with my biological father and his new wife. She asked to take me on a walk because she said that, we really hadn't had time to talk. She basically told me she didn't like that I looked like my mother. She didn't like what it was doing to my dad. She didn't like my biological father. Sorry, this gets so confusing. She basically said that she didn't want me in their lives anymore, that it was just making everything hard because her family didn't know about me and nobody did, and if I could just leave, that'd be great. I shouldn't have listened. But please try to give me some grace. I was an 18-year-old. I was taught to listen to your elders, so I did. And I disappeared. That was it. I just thought I would throw this in here. It's the only picture we have. It's a Polaroid of me and my brother meeting. Fast forward to now. Okay, so I would keep tabs on my biological father and his brothers just on Facebook and other social media platforms. And I had the flu a couple months ago, and I know this sounds crazy, but I felt like I was going crazy, and I just reached out to him, messaged him, and was like, how can you like him? How could you want him in your life? Because I saw pictures of them, and knowing that you have a sister and he couldn't stand by her, and it was just a really mean email or Facebook Messenger, and he was like, oh my goodness, my sister? Holy moly, what happened to you? I remember waiting for you on the doorstep to go to the water park, and his parents told them that I wanted nothing to do with them, and that was the story they were told. So now we're reuniting. A lot bigger than I remember.
Hi, Chris. Hi, nice to meet you. Daniel.
Goodness, you're so pretty.
Thank you.
And little. So he's so much bigger than I
Opposites
remember.
attract.
Right?